in English. It's not in Swahili today. I think you guys will be with us today, and you will share your opinion with us by your comments and by your by phone call. You can call because there is a WhatsApp number there where you can call to share your opinion, and we can be with you all the time, and we will pick you all the we will pick your phone call just to be with us. Okay, we are waiting for you. Let's start now. Okay, hi, welcome to Nadia Talk Show. This show is about people who are like me and you, who are there with have knowledge to share and experience to share just to inspire people. And I'm Nadia Bonfort, and today we are going to talk about the duty of children to their parents. And I'm not here alone, as you see. I'm here with my guest who will be introducing themselves to you and who have that knowledge, what I say, and experience to share with you about our topic. Without taking our time, let's go directly to introduce our guest to you. Okay. Hi, we want you guys to introduce yourself to us. Okay, we can go direct to our main guest. Okay, let's go to Elijah, who will introduce himself to us. Welcome.
Which one of us is
Elijah?
Okay, Elijah, you go.
Okay, let's start.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, my name is Elijah. I think I'm not new on Nadia Show. I've been invited here several times. I'm Elijah. I'm calling myself original because I believe some people have always played with us, trying to pretend as if we haven't been here. But we are the first human beings on this planet. We are the originals, the fathers and mothers of others. That's why I suggest like I be called the original, and the others are fake or they follow, right? So I am in Denmark, and I have a program called DTM TV Enyanya. I hope we will talk about that later. Yeah, okay. So I'm here to discuss about parenting, about the duty of the children to their parents, and I think they're right as well. When we talk about duty, we have to talk also about rights. Yeah. I think that's me briefly.
All right.
Thank you. Welcome to be with us today, and I will welcome all of you after when we finish. All of you finish to introduce themselves. We can't see Daniel. Daniel, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm here.
Can you hear us properly?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly fine. Yeah.
Okay, let's go to you will be the last one to introduce yourself. Okay, let's go to the second one because we are still have because we didn't say, I don't know if we had where you live, because we know we still have with the UK one and the Denmark one. Let's finish with let's go to the Denmark one and finish with the UK one. Okay, we go to the second one. Elijah, would you introduce
The one who has finished talking is Elijah. The one who will be talking is Elisha.
No,
Elisha. So it's different.
All right. I think that's enough of my name. So my name is Elisha.
I'm sorry.
My name is Elisha. I'm a musician, an artist in Denmark currently.
Wow.
And Elijah happens to be my father. So.
That's good. Welcome to Nadia Talk Show.
Thank you very much.
We are going to the third one who is on top there. Okay, Dan, can you introduce yourself, please? And don't forget to say what you do for life.
Yes, my name is Daniel Dijasa, and I'm currently a student for the University of Manchester. And I'm here with my mother, Nadia Dijasa.
Welcome to Nadia Talk Show. And I will just say again to all of you, welcome to Nadia Talk Show, and we are saying thank you again to accepting our invitation, especially to Elijah, who I called to the last minute because you can see on the poster when I posted before, the pictures was different from what you say now. You see now, but was a bit kind of disappointment the last minute. The one who should supposed to be here today, he had the emergency to attend. But thank God, I contacted my brother, my colleague at work, my colleague in work. We can say we are doing the same things, in it. Okay, and he was really happy to help me to back up, and I'm really happy that I appreciate what you did today. Without taking our time, we are going direct to our audience. We are really waiting for you, our audience, for your opinion. Don't forget to send your opinion on comments and on phone call. You can call direct on WhatsApp. For the one who are in UK, you can call direct on phone call, on direct call, on direct number. And the one who are abroad, they can call direct on WhatsApp. We are waiting for you for all your opinion, and we can share our ideas together. Okay, let's go direct and continue with our topic of today. As you see on the screen, the topic says about the duty of children to their parents. Okay, we are going direct. We have to start with the children because here we are parents and children together. We go direct to Daniel. Daniel, would you explain to us what do you understand? What do you know about the duty of a child to their parents? As a child, what is your duty to your parents?
I think the duty for the child to the parents should begin at least the age of 22. So one example for a duty is, for example, let's say you're living in your parents' house at the age of, like, let's say 25, and then it would be your duty to provide, or let's say paying rent, or paying like a portion of the rent, or like other duties in terms of surpassing your parents' expectations. So let's say your father wants you to become a doctor or engineer, and he's worked hard, provided, nourished you, and worked hard to better your living situations and your life, basically. So it would be your duty to like make that dream for your father or mother to come true, and go into that profession, basically.
Okay, thank you. We had you. Let's go to another idea of the duty or another opinion. We're still with children. Okay, Elisha, would you tell us what is your duty as a child to your parents?
I would agree to a certain extent with Dan in expressing that uh, a child has to surpass the expectations of the parent, but I would not necessarily agree in the sense of having to like follow a direct path based on your parents' wishes. I believe that uh, there's a duty for love and care and all these things that are so like second nature. But when it comes to the general life sequence, I believe that uh, that is much more of a life sequence question. Profession is something that needs to come from the heart, and so I would disagree with Dan on that one. But I believe that as they say, when a child is still a baby, they depend only on their parents. It is supposed to sort of like reflect in when the parent also gets old and cannot take care of themselves or needs more help than necessary. I feel like that is the main duty that uh, well, at least something that I've learned from my African heritage, to sort of like focus on the care and love and being able to sort of like provide in the sense of the same way a parent takes care of their child uh, for uh, for years without expecting much from them. It says that same type of love and care that should sort of like reflect uh, in the later time in a child's life. So I would define that as being the only duty, maybe. Of course, there are sort of like subcategories to that statement, but that will be the main one, I would say.
Thank you for that. Without delaying, let's go to the parents now. We are going to Elijah. Yeah, Elijah. What do you think about the duty of the children to the parents as a parent? What could you expect to your child to what? To make a duty to you, that I can say like that.
Thank you, Nadia, for having me on your show today. And I think that's a very important discussion that we are having today, because those of us who are living in the West here, we are seeing progressively people are talking about the rights of the children, like the children has this right, has that right, and if they do something like you happen to kind of beat them or just correct them or discipline them to some extent, it's easy for them to just call the police and you find yourself in the hands of the police, or the children are taken from you. And so the discipline that we got from our parents on our side, it was just normal because we were going in school and it was normal to be disciplined by your parents and stuff. But today, the approach is like you must, children are being told only about their right, but not about their responsibility or duties.
Yeah.
And I am very happy that you are bringing this in. And as I just looked on the dictionary about the word duty, it's saying that it's a moral or legal obligation or a responsibility. It's something like the one the young ones are talking about here. They're talking about the moral side of it. And before I continue, perhaps I just need to give you a simple, I like giving examples. I was watching a movie, a Nigerian movie, of this parent, and I'm talking as a parent, of a parent who educate his child and send him to school and this and that, and then the child graduated, and after graduating, the child was unable to get a job. Then the father started cursing his son. He was calling him wasted investment. Because for him, whatever he was doing, he was investing. He was investing, and then he was expecting too much from the children. That's why I need to start saying that perhaps we shouldn't expect too much from the children. We need just to do what is what we are supposed to do as a parent, give them guidance and help them follow their path. Because I think as an African parent, sometimes we tend to force children to do things our own way. We want, I want you to be a lawyer, I want you to be a doctor, I want you to be this and that, which is okay. And sometimes the children will do that just to obey you, but not because they like what you're telling them to do. So for me, first, I think it's for us parents to understand the children. They have their own passion. They want to have their own path. Then we need to help them find their way. Once they found their way, okay, then they could do what they have said to us. But even if they don't, like if you are expecting too much, like when I get old, they should take care of me. If they can, fine. If they don't, so as a parent, you need to work hard so that when you grow old, if they support you, and if they don't, you still have your own way of supporting yourself. But having said that, I would say that children, in most cases, they, as he's saying, my Elisha and Dan were saying, morally speaking, we need to understand that they have the obligation to some extent of following their hearts, but also listening to their parents, because in most cases, many parents have the interests of their children at heart. And sometimes what an old man says, seated down, that's an African saying as well. What an old man said seated down on a chair, a young person can't see it even when he is on the top of a mountain. So sometimes we see things they can't see. We see the danger. We see what would happen if they follow a certain path. But they think perhaps we are being so dictator. We are dictators. We are being so controlling and stuff. And so that balance of knowing when to follow what the parents want and when to follow their path, I think that's where the difficulty is. And for me, I want them to speak to us, and because if it's about our expectation from them, let's hear them say what they have to say, and then we could come in perhaps and conclude. If what I'm saying makes any sense anyway.
Yeah, it does.
That is it. That is true. Also, for me, I don't have that much to say, but for me, for the duty of the children to their parents, I think what our guest Elijah, what he said, he got a point, because sometimes we always pressure the children to do what they are not expecting to do. And what I can add again to the children, I think we respect. You forgot about another big duty to you as a child. The first duty to you is like respecting your children. Obedience is a first duty to do to your parents, because everything you can do, if you are not respecting your parents, will go in vain. Let's go to the second question. We are waiting for you, for our audience also to respond for what we are talking about, what we are discussing, because we can't say only us who have reason, what we are saying is true, or what we are saying is what makes sense. But we are waiting for you also, the audience also, if we can send their opinion too. We can share them and we can balance them. We can see what is real and what is not real. We are waiting for you guys. And let's go to the second question. Okay, I want to ask this question. I will go to Elijah. The Elijah is the one I will go to. This is the second one. As the dad says, because as African parents, we have our way how to educate our children. We always educate the way as to we've been educated, and we will translate also we transmit also to our children. Sometimes for you, you will see it, or because we can see also on YouTube, people are doing, all parents. African parents are like what is always on YouTube. Okay, for you, because sometimes most of parents they always expect their children to achieve what the parents didn't achieve. For you as a child, what that one will be on you. How if your parents sometimes it didn't graduate to uni, it didn't graduate to the college, it doesn't have a what like a knowledge, a school knowledge, and he wants you a child to do better than him, to make him proud. And tomorrow he can be in with his friend and say, "Oh, you see that my child he graduated in this and this school and this." As a child, and you've grown up in Europe, how you will take it if a parent is pushing you to do that?
I think I've been very lucky to not experience such a progression of a life. I find it to be truly sad. Not I don't know how morally correct this is, but I find it to be absolutely corrupt in the essence of what is to be expected in a family environment. I think from a base point of view, a family relationship is supposed to be a support system. It is not it is not a system where you're being told exactly what to do. You're being guided, especially for example, for me, I'm a creative, and I know this to be the passion that I have, and I, sometimes I just think of if it was such that the environment around me, the support system that was around me, pushed me into a different type of occupational. Completely disregards my interest. I wonder what type of man I will be. You know, I wonder if uh, my future, as I see it, panning out, would be one that I will be proud of, because there's one thing that is expected from this world, which is economic independence by a certain age, and for us Africans, it is most of the time the first thing, the first and only goal. And some parents might forget that this child is also just another human being with emotions and a need to grow. And of course, as children, we also make a lot of mistakes, stupid mistakes, avoidable mistakes, even though we've been warned before. And sometimes kids like me, myself, are too hot-headed and would like to try things out, even though I know it's the fire is hot. I still want to touch it and experience that whole that whole path in life. So that I don't know. It's almost a philosophical question, but I think doing your parents proud shouldn't be equated to achieving specific worldly goals that are already in the vicinity of what the parents think. I think just as parents chooses to have a child,
Yeah.
Without consulting with the child, without knowing what type of child that would be. I don't think. I think the child should be allowed to at least figure some things out as well, and chase that of which they believe to be true, to be worthy of a good life. That's that would be my point. But I'm just saying that I don't think it is wise for parents to push upon their children dreams that they have not dreamt themselves, because it's going to be a very, very tiring and brutal adult life for that child.
Thank you for that. What you say really makes sense. And the parent, I think that there's some parents who are listening to us. It's sometimes good to hear from our children, because sometimes we can put them in pressure. What we don't know, we are putting them in pressure just to us to be proud of ourselves, or to go to show up outside there. Oh, my child did this. And for you, you don't know which kind of pressure you are putting your child in. Okay, Daniel, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Because we can't see your face, we don't know if you are there or you already gone in the kitchen to have some tea or some.
Uh,
Okay, Daniel, can you had the question I asked Elijah. I think you had
Elijah.
the question.
yeah.
Mugisho,
Yes.
just call him Mugisho. Call him Mugisho is easier.
Yeah, you can just call me.
Mugisho, yeah. Yeah, so that you avoid the confusion between Elijah and Elisha. Call him
Yes,
Mugisho, that's his other name.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
fine.
Yeah, call
Daniel.
him Mugisho.
What would you say about that for your parents to your parents, like I'm your mother, and me, I didn't go up to the degree level, but I want you
Okay.
to push up to that degree level. And when I will meet my friend and to tell them, oh, you see my child is already graduated to the uni, and just to
Yeah.
show off to my family, to other people, And I don't know how you are taking it, how you will
Okay.
feel as a child. You will be happy to say, okay, because my mother didn't do this, myself, I will do, I will make my mother proud to do that. Even you like or you don't like it, you will do it. For you as a child, how you will take it,
Okay.
how will
So
be in you, of how will be to you.
I think I got off on the wrong foot. So like I didn't mean to imply that you should do exactly what your parents tell you to do, but you should take that consideration into account. Like for example, like when your parents want you to become like let's say a doctor or a lawyer, you shouldn't exactly try to meet the expectations, but you should reevaluate the situation. So for example, like trying to become like a rapper compared to trying to become a doctor or an engineer. An engineer or a doctor is more financially um, it's more feasible basically because as long as you put in the hard work, I'm not saying like once you graduate you're going to get there, but if you have the right mindset and if you know what you want to do, let's say you want to become a doctor, but becoming a doctor is not what you want to do exactly, but you have passion in doing something else, like you have passion in doing like marketing, you have passion in business, you have passion in engineering, then go for that. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't like completely disregard that your parents want you to go to uni, because uni opens a lot of doors, a lot of opportunities for you. Does it exactly mean that you should do exactly like what everybody's telling you to do, but at least try to get a degree that is more feasible for you in the future. Do you kind of get what I'm saying? Rather than
That
trying
I
to
agree. I agree.
trying to
And
meet.
I don't know
Yeah,
if it's okay that I cut in a little bit. I agree completely because I'm thinking also for the parent, I would imagine that what they want is for their child's future to be secured in a specific
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
And
yeah,
technically, the way the world works now, having a specific degree in a specific thing that shows promise for the future is the best way to sort of like guide your child. And yeah, I just wanted to sort of like let you know that I'm down with that. That is true.
yeah, exactly. And so like for example, my example is like when I went to do chemical engineering at uni. Initially, like my father wanted me to become a doctor, but I knew that that wasn't something that I'll be happy doing. But with chemical engineering, I really liked it because I was really into mathematics and chemistry, and that just fused everything that I liked in it. So I wasn't necessarily forced into it. I chose to do that in my own way because I know even if I go to get a degree and I don't want to do chemical engineering anymore, there's still a lot of doors I can do. I can do sports science, I can start my own business, I can do all these different kinds of things. So I think parents are right in the way of trying to become educated, because when you're educated, you kind of understand a lot more things and life will be much more easier for you compared to whether, like for example, like when you're in America and you're not educated, um, the police will take that like they take advantage of that basically. So if you're uneducated in like the law system, they take advantage of that, and that's why you see a lot of young black men getting killed or police brutality happening because they don't know what to do in that situation. But
Yeah.
if you do have a law degree or if you're well educated in the law system, then you'll know how to get away from certain situations. It doesn't necessarily imply that you should go to uni, but they in general terms, they tell you just to get educated and know a lot of things, basically.
Yeah. You need to
And I
know your
think that's,
surrounding.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's all from me.
Elisa, do you have something to add there?
Sorry?
No, I was talking to Elijah because what Daniel, what he said is really, I appreciated that really. Because it's what I always say to my children, say this world became too much challenging. There is a time because when as we were growing, you can have A level degree, A level diploma. You will still have a job. You will still go to the trainings and grow up with a training apprenticeship, and you will go. you will catch up with that. But this moment, the world became too much challenging. You need really a degree level to extend your knowledge of understanding how the world is going today.
That's true.
Even today, you can say, I want to be a businessman. As long as you don't have a school knowledge, you will don't know how things are working in what you are doing. Okay, because in a but the time we were growing up, sometimes they will consider a businessman as a person who didn't go to school. You can do a business is normal. But at the moment, business became too much like a competition is too much. And you have to have that level of understanding what you are doing with your computer, your competitor, because
Yeah.
it's only the school knowledge which will make you understand that. Without taking time, let's go to the main guest, Elijah. You are the father here. Of what we
Yeah,
said,
I'm the father, and you are the mother, and we have the boys here. Yeah,
I think we only miss a daughter here.
she will have her next time.
Next
Opango
time
Yombi
we
Wilonja
invite
Ngoi.
a What do you
Uh,
think about that? I think you get a question how, because as parents, we always push our children. I can't say like a pushing, it depends of what the parents have in their mind. Some parents, they do it just to show off outside there. Some parents also do it because of the life they've been through. Because they say, oh, I didn't have that chance because my parents, sometimes they were poor. My parents, they couldn't pay me for school fees. I was clever, but they couldn't have that possibility of paying me for school fees to go up to the level I want to be today. But with the life I'm passing through now, I don't want the children to go through this life. I will push through my children to be better than me. And what you will think about that, sometimes it depends of what the parents have in their mind. And would you think about that? What you will say about that for the parents? Sometimes some they push their children to go further for their interest. Some they push the children to go further for the children's interest. We are waiting for.
yeah, so thank you for having me. I think there are so many things to say about this, and the boys, Danny and Elisha, have said almost everything. But what I want to say is that, of course, if we are talking about education, some years back when some of us were growing, I
Yeah.
remember if you came from school and happened to go out playing football, when you come home, you must lie. You will not say like you went to play football. You lie and say,
Yeah.
I went blah blah blah, because it was kind of shameful, and it was like doing football is like a stupid boy. Why would you waste your time in playing football? But today we are seeing like there are children who are making their life playing football. In fact, they are the millionaires, the richest human beings on planet Earth. The people who are playing football. So the time has changed. The time we used to grow, some of us, and the time these young ones are growing is totally different. So as parents, we must first have that in mind. And the second question, stuff I want to talk about, there is a girl, I think she's a Tanzanian, who said that her father insisted that he wanted her to follow a certain path at the university. But for her, she wanted to be a musician. But because she wanted to please her father, she still went to do law. And when she finished, she came with the degree. She said, Father, your degree is here. Can you give me a chance now to go and do what I like? You see? And she was saying it jokingly. To some extent, she wasted some time. Those years she went to university just to please her parents. But she acknowledged later that even that education that she got as a lawyer, even though she's in the business of music now, is helping her to navigate into the business of music, to sign contracts and all this and all that. So another example I would want to give before I conclude was of Samuel Eto'o. All of these young ones, they know Samuel Eto'o, who is a beautiful footballer. This guy has made them lot of millions. And when he was just playing, he was just making his money, and other people were managing the business. Now that he has finished university, and now that he retired, so he wanted to manage his companies, to manage his money. But what if somebody comes to you, talks to you about the balance sheet? What is a balance sheet? You don't understand. When they come with this jargon, these technical languages, even though you are the boss, you get lost, you know. So he decided, even though he was already mature, he decided to go to Harvard University to pursue business course there. Even though he has money, he's not going there to make money because he already has money. But he wants to get this knowledge so that when he comes back, he's able to manage his business well, just as Nadia was explaining. So when a parent tell you, like, we want you to go to university, for example, it's not like they are just impressed, they just want to feel good that their children has finished university. But as Nadia said rightly, the world is so sophisticated today, so complicated that if you don't go to school, you will not understand how the dots are connected. You see? Yeah. So whatever you do, whether you are a business person, whether you are, whatever you're doing, you still need to know how this world is functioning. That's very important. Yeah. But as they said, the young ones, it's still important for us as a parent to understand and know the passion of our children. What is this they are passionate about? And then help them follow that path without necessarily imposing them to do what we like. Yeah. And as he was saying, that it should be kind of a supporting system, like we are supporting each other. And one thing I wanted to conclude with here is that as an African parent, I am an African parent myself, sometimes we have this mind that we must be kind of, how do I put it? We must be very, have a big distance with our children. We should not befriend them. We should, like when the father enters the house, the children must run and go into the bedrooms, like the lion comes in the house. That we need to be friends with our children. And once we are friends, we understand them. And once we understand them, then we are able to guide them, because I think this is our role as a guidance. And now, if we don't do that, we don't have time to talk to them. I was doing a program, I think 2 days ago, and I was talking about parenting. And I was talking even about this kind of suicide. Young people are killing themselves in Africa here because sometimes they don't have anybody to talk to. So I think we have a responsibility as children to be, as parents, to be friends to our children and to make them happy. But not only making them happy, the children also should kind of understand that they have this passion, but the parent also have their best interest at heart, and they want their security in terms of their future. They are seeing what they can't see today. And so if we have that time of being today, of being friends to our children, of listening to them. Another short example that I want to conclude, I have a friend of mine who had his children in the house, and he didn't know that his daughter outside there were young people close to the family who were doing some shitty stuff with the children. And then the children were fearing the mother. They couldn't say this to the mother. They were fearing the father. They couldn't speak this to the father. And then they chose to go and speak to the teacher in school. You know what it means here in Europe. When they speak to the school, then the school kind of sees like you are irresponsible parent, you don't listen to the children and stuff. And I think that's where all starts, like this friendship. On one hand, the parent is there to be friend to the children, but the children also should make this easier for us. Because sometimes they feel like, these are old class, you know. You understand? They see us as an old class. They know what. they think what they know now we don't know. You know, it's like when we were graduating, finishing secondary school, we thought we were the first one to get a diploma. You know, but there were so many people who got it before us. You see, so it's important for us to have this kind of relationship, to be friends to each other, help them identify their talents, and once they identify their talents, nurture those talents, and once they have nurtured those talents, then give them a support, and that's it. So I think this is a wonderful discussion, and I can see there are people who are commenting here. If you allow me to read some of the comments, if you allow me to read some of the you allow me to read some of the comments.
Starts on top. Here we have Opango. Okay, Opango, we greet you. It's from Kigali. We say hello. Thank you to be with us. Okay, we are here. We are here with Margaret Mongi. Hello. Thank you to be with us. Flore is here. Flore Lajoie. And then there is one from Tanzania. Thank you to be with here. Nice auntie. I like that. I think you can hear what we are talking, and tomorrow it can help you. We are here with Raymond, and then I think you can read the comment. What say? The law is direct quote from the Holy Bible. Yes, that is the first.
He said the good news Bible version about children's duties to parents. The quote, he says, like, children, listen to me.
Hello?
Sorry, should I read?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, go on.
He says, children, listen to me. I am your father. Do what I tell you, and you will be safe. For the Lord has given fathers authority over their children, and given children the obligation to obey their mothers. If you respect your father, you can make up for your sins, and if you honor your mother, you are earning grace. But I like what Flore Lajoie says. I believe we need to allow our children to have their own personality. Saying yes to everything your parents say does not mean respect, because parents can also be wrong, and we need to trust that we educated our children well enough for them to make the right choices. You know, so those are two kind of different opinions. The first one, you must do what the parent says, and it's a quote from the Bible. The second,
for the Raymond one.
On the note above, I believe children need to have an education to an extent where they can't possibly progress. Yeah, that is Lajoie saying that. So if you allow me to comment on those two extremes, like the one.
You can go on.
Yeah. So finding the balance in these two extremes is where the problem lies, because the first one, if you are a parent like the one in chapter 3 of the version that we are given there, that you must obey to me, you must do exactly what I'm saying. I think that is a very dangerous path to take, because then the child will be doing whatever you're telling them as an animal, as a machine, as a robot, you know. But I think, and also the children doing what they like themselves. And I think Dan put it very well, that the child has his own passion, the parent has their passion, but you still need to discuss and find a common ground for the better, because it's the future of this child you're talking about. He's the one who is going to live this life. For example, I see some parents wanting to choose women, wives, or husbands for their children. I want you to marry this person. But it's not you who will be living with that woman. If not you who will be living with that man, you know. So as much as you have their interest at heart, as much as you think you know what they want, it's still important for you to understand that these children also are human beings. They have an ability of making their own decision, and we need to some extent to trust them. And I think that's where the balance needs to be, advising them, but also allowing them to follow their heart. It's very important.
That is true. That is true. Really,
I had
from,
this one. I had this
yeah,
one.
yeah.
I've been saying this other quote. I think like parents are kind of like board members for the child's company, the child's the beginning of a child's life as a company. Like the advisors that make sure that the right decisions are taken, but at the end, the CEO is the one that makes the decision. The CEO being the child, and if the advice is not well, the advice
I
most of
don't
the
think.
time.
Can you hear him correctly?
Yeah, I can hear him, but you are a bit
I
quiet.
can't
Oh,
hear him.
Wow,
oh,
you are loud up.
okay. It's a
Hello?
quote. Can you hear me at all?
Danny, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys perfectly
Can you
fine.
listen? Sometimes you can still singing a little bit. We can know you are there.
Okay, no, I'm good. But I can hear you guys.
We will give,
Safe
let
connection
you.
there.
Okay, Elijah, you can continue after we will go to Daniel later.
It's just a small kind of like analogy. Having seeing a child's life as a business.
Hmm.
I'd say parents as being the most important board members in the growth of a business, in making decisions, in helping the CEO who is the child, in making the the right moves so that the business can succeed in the future. So if the parents try to force their own will on a child, this is what when the connection disappears. And if it was a literal business, the CEO would just fire the board members. Now it's much harder when it is your parents, and you cannot fire them from being your parents. But so
That's too harsh, man.
no,
But
but
yeah, Nadia, this guy, Nadia, this guy wants to fire us, man.
no, but here's my
That is
here's
how
my
we show what is in their minds.
no, yeah, but this is why it's a good analogy. This is why it's a good
Go
analogy
on. Go
because
ahead.
Daniel, what would you? What are you? What is your? What are you saying about this?
so my ending point is basically since parent-child relationship is such that it is morally and obligatory in its essence. There's a need for a great form of communication, a communication that so like allows for everyone to get some people to get angry once in a while, but in the end, having that relationship that sort of like is accepting of different extremes once in a while. So a balance. I think Dan spoke of something in those sense. A balance between the wishes of your parents, because you know they only want the best for you, and your own wishes for your own life and the future.
Thank you.
Yeah. So since you cannot fire your parents, you have to
So I think
communicate.
I want to come in over there and say that that I think he has a point. The point that he has when we came here in Denmark, I'm talking just about him. He used to like doing everything. He wanted to be in sport, in football, in everything, and I was a little bit worried. And so one of the lady who was helping us as a family said, let him try. Let him, if he doesn't try, he will try even in his old age, you know? And this is what I have to tell other parents who are listening to us. Allow your children make mistakes. That is very important. I don't know how clear I will put it. Sometimes we want these children to grow without mistakes. Mistakes are a way for us to learn. Allow them make mistakes. Allow them try things their own way. That's the only way they can learn. You understand? So sometimes we want to have perfect angel children who don't make mistakes. We made mistakes ourselves. We tried things, we tried this, it doesn't work. You try that, it doesn't work. And then you try that, it works. You understand? So it's important for us to allow them make mistakes without, but not mistakes as like being criminals and doing some, no. I'm talking about following their desires. I'm talking about following their passions, like they want to try this, they want to try that. And in most cases, some of us, you finish primary, you want to go to secondary, you don't even know, you are not clear what is it you want to do. Understand? So sometimes you try this, you fail, you try that. And at the end of the day, they find their path. And as I said, I can't put this clear, more clear than I did before, as is to see what is strong in these children. We can guide them, we can support them, but even when they're doing that, allow them to make mistakes and stop from calling them stupid simply because he has done something and failed. You know, somebody might fail once, but it doesn't not make that person a failure. And important to understand for those of us who are parents, our words to our children are very important. What we say to them are important. When you constantly tell your child how stupid he is, how you will know how our languages, sometimes we call them this, we call them that, you know, and you see when these children are growing, even in their future family life, that sometimes you can be speaking to a child and crush that self-esteem. Parents who are listening to me, it's important to say this. You know, if you can live with a man and see this man has no self-esteem at all, and you think perhaps I am the cause of this because I'm his wife or something like that. It has nothing to do with you. Perhaps the parents crushed that self-esteem in that man. Every time, everything he was doing was always negative. You see, they never encouraged him. They never found anything important in the life of the child. So if we want to bring the best in our children, we need to encourage them, but also we need to allow them to make their mistakes.
That is.
I don't know if I'm making myself clear anyway.
It's really important what you say. I will heard from what you said, but I want to go to Daniel to give us his opinion because we've been a bit quiet. Daniel,
it's a shame that we can't see him.
Yeah, we can't see him because we did apologize. Technically, what happened because he had a problem of camera. But next time, I think it will be the camera will be already. This problem will be resolved anyway. Okay, Daniel, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, what is your opinion about what we are coming to talk about?
I agree with everything is being said in this discussion, to be honest, because in terms of like the duty for the kids to their parents, like you should always find a common ground. You shouldn't disregard your parents' opinions, and the parents should not disregard your own opinions, to be honest. So there's nothing else to be said for me, to be honest, because I agree with everything. There's no counterpart for me.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Do you still have something to add, though? No. Okay, for me too, what I can thank you for your opinion, Daniel. It's really good because what we are talking here is there is not a perfect parent in this world, and there is not a perfect child on this world. Especially for the parent, we are doing all the best, what you can give. But above all, we still have God who created all of us, who can direct the parents through him, the parent who can direct you to get the best what he can. That is what we can say. It's what I can add again from what Elijah said about the relationship between the parent and the children. The parent, you have to build up a good relationship with your children, because when there is not a good relationship with your child, you will create an hypocrite, because the child will be only doing something in front of you. It will be doing something just to please you. But when it will be outside there, it will be doing other stuff. Because here we don't see that, but in school they can report your child. But in Africa, sometimes the neighbors, they will come to report the child. They say, your child did this, your child did, and you say, hey, my child is not like that. What you are saying is not true. No, you have to know your child, because there is not a good relationship between you and your child. Your child, you can't know your child better, because what is doing in front of you is not what is doing outside. But the good relationship will make you to understand and to know your children, your child. What the child, sometimes before even people know, come to you to say what your children or your child is doing, yourself, you already know what is your child, because you have a good relationship with him. It's open to you. It's really comfortable in front of you. I think it's that relationship we have to build up with our children, our children to feel more comfortable in front of us, not to have a fear when they are in front of us. Most of the time when the child want to say, is you your parent, a child, is you a parent, you have to come front and say, oh, when I'm talking, you don't have a right to talk in front of you, of me. No, give your child the right to talk. Whatever is saying, just keep quiet, listening to your child, what you want to say. And after when he finish, you can get it, and when you go to him, address to him properly as a friend, as a parent. That one will make you we make a good relationship and a good connection between you and your children. Okay, I think our time is up, and one of our guests, we have to add him. Okay, is there? Okay, I think our time is up. I don't know if you have something to add also from what I said.
No, for me, I agree completely with.
Yeah, you are completely right. I want to thank you for inviting me to this channel again. It was just a surprise. I was not prepared. I knew nothing, but we had to do this. We had to do this because we have to support each other. But you say, yeah, what you're saying is right. Sometimes we tend to create monsters in our children. We want to create hypocrites. As I said myself, like if you don't talk to your children, or if you are so how do I say it? You are that parent, they are lion in the house, that their children fear you so much. They will be living two lives. They'll be living a life home, a life to please you, and a life outside there, which is the real life. You don't want that for your children. You want to make them live lives, to be who they are. I visited a friend of mine with my children, and they were jumping on the seat. I was discussing with Nadia before this show, and she was saying like she misses the small babies, the small Dan. Dan is a big boy now, you know. Yeah, and I wanted to. I was like, don't jump on the seats and behave yourself. But our host said, let the children be children. I will say the same. Let the youth be youth. Let the young one be young one. Let them follow their path, right? And if we do that, if we help them, if we guide them, then it will be all right. But having said that, young ones who are listening to us, they should not think we are stupid. Everything they're experiencing this today, we passed through that. We know that, and we know even where they will end up. You start the journey. I've been there. I know exactly where you are ending. So if I give you a piece of advice, it's up to you to take it or not. But listen, just give me an ear. Listen to what I have to say. That will be very important. So thank you so much for our viewers. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for coming. And please don't leave this channel. If you haven't subscribed, go to this Nadia. What is your channel again? Nadia Talk Show.
Yeah.
And subscribe. Hit that like button, so that every time she's live, you are able to know. but you can also visit my channel, which is DTM TV Enyanya, and also like my Facebook page and subscribe to my channel as well. We are trying to support each other. We can't do this alone. We need to support one another. We are doing it in English, doing it in French, doing it in Danish, all the possible language we can, because our young ones here, some of them don't understand Swahili. That's why we are coming to the English, even though our English is of the evening. The last thing I wanted to say is that there are opportunities here in the West which we didn't have in Africa. And this one, I talk even to Elisha and the others. When we insist about education, as I conclude, it's that in Africa, we were paying so much money. I don't know about UK there, but here in Denmark, education is free from primary to university. And you don't need to have A's or have 80%. I don't know. You talk about A's in the UK here and then.
Hello.
Yeah, and so you have a chance of studying for free. If you are given that opportunity, please take it. If you study and finish your education, you could still do whatever you want to do. You don't want to do the whole thing. Get money first and then education. You can take this education first and then follow money after. God bless you. Have a nice weekend, and I wish you all the best. All our viewers, all those people who took their time to listen to us. God bless you, and thank you so much, Nadia. See you again. Thank you.
Before you go, I will add from what you said about all the children who are listening to us today, and even the one who they will follow this program. What we are saying, if you had a chance, your parents, to be in this country, in the West country, and you had that opportunity to go to school for free, because in Africa, where we are coming from, it's not easy to send a child to school. And then put yourself in your head. You are here as a foreigner, as a diaspora. Where you came from, people, they don't have that opportunity. You study here. Tomorrow you will go to show what you got to your people who you left there. Because everyone who welcoming you will be happy tomorrow to see you. You went also to show other people what you got from where you went. That is what I can give you. That I can give. I can say to give you that advice from the children, from our children who are in West part, to come here just to do your best and to go to do something from where your parents came from. That is what I can say. Okay, let's go to Elisha, because I know you have something to tell us of what you do. You say you are a musician, and because I could go further with the music on YouTube, because I have to cut it to allow me to share the show to other people. And I wasn't happy about that really, but your music was really nice. Can you tell us more about that and where people can find you?
Oh yeah, thank you so much. First of all, this was very spontaneous, so I didn't know how this would go, but I'm glad that it was a beautiful conversation. I think like everyone got heard. What I could just say is that one thing, for every skilled warrior, we all have every skilled warrior has their own scars, and this is how they survive in the long term. If they're so like they've gone through some of the rough parts and learned some of the lessons in a hard way. So seeing a child as a future warrior competing in the game of life, I think it is only a blessing to have parents that are willing to sort of like help and support and push you to do better. My father has been that for me. I read a lot myself, and I got that mindset from him. But yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure. My name is Elisha. I'm a musician and an artist. I like to call myself an artist and captain. I have a record label. I own a record label called Dreamboat Pirates, and I am an official artist. You can find my music anywhere: Spotify, YouTube, everywhere. You can also just go to elishadp.com and you can vibe with me a little bit.
Oh, thank you for that. Oh, next time I will invite you just to tell us about your career of music, how you combine your music with your education, all those, and how you started that music with Congolese African parents, how they supported you, how was
Yeah.
in the
Oh
beginning.
yeah. Oh
We
yeah.
like really to hear that because
Yeah.
as African parents, we always wish our children to be doctors, to be
Yeah.
lawyers, and now
Oh
with
yes.
your
Yeah.
kind of
I can only say
your
that it's been
parents,
tough. It's been a lot of tough love, but I'm gonna say
okay, well,
that.
that is it. Okay, we are
Not
going to
easy.
Daniel. You have a final word, and there is other children here or teenagers or young children that are listening to you. What the advice you can give them as a senior to them?
Me?
What advice I can give them is that just listen to what you want to do in life. Listen to what you want to. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go to uni. You can do an apprenticeship, or you can go straight into work after high school or college. Basically, just don't follow what the masses are doing. Just follow what you want to do in life. Basically, I think that's what the advice I can give to young people. Um,
And
basically.
what you will say to them about the relationship with their parents or with the advice of the parents.
I think always make sure that your relationship with your parents is strong and healthy, basically. Make sure that they take into account your views and opinions of life, and you can also take into account their views and opinions on life also, and always come to common grounds, and the parents should always respect at the end of the day what the child wants to do in their life, because at the end of the day it's not their life, it's their child's life. So you shouldn't have full control. You shouldn't have any control at all, but you should just guide them in the right path. That's all the parents should mostly do.
Thank you very much, Daniel. And the next time, I think we will invite you again to come here, especially to encourage that children who they are struggling with school. Sometimes they have that fear because not all parents who had that, not all children who have the chance of parents who reach the level of uni. Sometimes they can be struggling. They don't know where to get the best advice, and sometimes they can fear how I will go to uni, what I will found there. Some people can be better than me. I think we need you people like you guys to come here to encourage that children, that young one who have that idea of go further, but they have the fear. The fear is bringing them back to not go further with to not go to not reach their dreams. Next time we will invite you also to talk about that. Thank you for all of you to be with us today to Nadia Talk Show. The show of today was really interesting because was the first one to do with children and parents around. And I think as to me as a child, as a parent, I learned something from this show today. I think Elijah, to as a parent, you learn from something from our children, and our children learn something from their parents today. And we are saying thank you, and from the people who've been with us today, who changed their opinion with us today, we have Flo Lachua, we have Long Glody. We say thank you for being with us today. Marguerite Mongo Raymond, we say thank you very much for your comments. to share your opinion to us. We say thank you for that. And don't forget to follow us again on Instagram on the name of Nadia Talk Show, and here on Facebook we are on the name of Nadia Talk Show. You can like or you can subscribe on our page, and on YouTube we are on the name of Nadia Bonfort. If you can be with us, we will be happy to share all the time our view, our opinion with you. Okay, we say thank you, and let's see again next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.